All right, so for part C, first thing you're wanting to do is go to the bottom of your Jamovi output and take that estimated marginal means table and copy and paste that directly into your Word document. I've gone ahead and highlighted these values here. Um, but this is exactly what Jamovi is using to create the line to begin with, so there should not be an issue with your line if you're pulling from the Jamovi output. Um, then it asks us to show that that is the case, that we're good to go. So, in other words, that the line goes through the mean. The mean is going to be this middle point, right? And remember, mu means mean. So this is saying the mean of education is 12.6 years. And this is asking you to show that that line goes directly through the mean. So we can take our regression equation from before. Remember these values that we pulled from up there. We can put x in here. This is our x value, and it should give us this y value. Well, you see when I calculated it, I ended up with 2.03, which is a little bit less than 2.04, but I explained that that error was due to rounding. So if this is part of why, like, they used to tell you to make sure that you've got like 4 decimal places until you're at the end of what you're doing. You're much less likely to have these rounding related errors if you go out to 4 decimal places. But there have been lots of places where we've been able to round in doing this, so it's okay that we were off by this little bit. You could also do it the other way. You could take your y value if you wanted, plug it in here, and solve the equation the other way, and you should get your x value as 12.6 or something really similar. But this is what makes more sense to most people. But either one is fine. Just make sure that if you're asked to do this in the future, that you're showing that one side does in fact equal the other. Another way you could do that is you could write in the 2.04 here, solve this down step by step, and then it would end up saying 2.04 equals 2.03, and then you would just need to explain error due to rounding. Now it then says, so we've checked and made sure that the line, the regression line, goes through the midpoint, which the output gave us this midpoint, right? The mean of x and the mean of y. Also, to be clear, this is telling us that the average number of children that people had in our whole data set was 2, right? People on average had 2 children. Then it asks us to indicate that on our scatter plot. So hopefully it's going to, yeah, it looks like it's letting me scroll down. So you're going to want to take your scatter plot, put it back in here again. Then you're going to use some sort of tool in order to actually put that dot on the page. I'm trying to remember, yeah, we can use the draw feature, and we can just take a pen and 2.04, 2.6, and ta-da! You might want to say mean. And that is good enough, right? Or you might have actually put the x and y coordinates there. I guess technically that's your means point, right? And you'll see that's not perfect, but that's pretty close to the right spot, right? You'll want to show that you're a little bit above 2.6 and that you're a little bit above 2, right? And you'll see each time I drag over, I end up with a slightly different point. But that's okay, as long as it's somewhere generally in that area of those coordinates of 12.6 and 2.04, right? Just try to get it close.